Crimsonclad.
That's right. Ran in the door. Maybe no one's here. Maybe nothing's happening. Planned absolutely nothing. That's not true. I made big plans tonight. It's Fullforce Radio. My name is Crimsonclad. And I thought, oh, we're going to have a spooky Halloween show tonight. Oh, it's going to be so amazing. Giant misery traffic jam on the way home. Ran in the door. Literally was able to put on lipstick. That's what you get. Was going to find my spooky black scleral contacts. Was going to do a whole thing. Nope. You get none of that because the show at least started on time. Listen, we'll take our victories where we can get them. So, I mean, it's a Halloween show. It's definitely supposed to be a Halloween show. But instead, of course, all the planning that I wanted to do, I wanted to put together a skeleton-centric playlist. It didn't really necessarily happen the way that I wanted it to happen, but I'm hoping that I will be able to grab enough of you and we can all come in and we can have some fun. Wowzers, that is quite a name. I'm assuming that's Eldritch's pig, just because what a buff pig it is. And hi, Jason, Mr. D, everybody who's hanging in. Yeah, new plan. Listen, it is what it is. I'm going with it tonight. I feel good about what I could do, which is literally lipstick. That's, you know what? Feel great. And for those of you who just listened to the audio only portion of tonight's show, don't worry, there's still lots of music. And I have got 4 years minimum of Halloween playlists that we can draw on. There is still some new music that I want to play for you. There's still some stuff I want to talk about. And of course, we can always do the Skeletorb thing. And Ron will be here to yell at me because, of course, I barely got the stream started in time. What else is new? Get used to it. So, I hope you guys have been having a fabulous week. I missed you very badly last week. Just summoned demons for 2 hours. Yeah, absolutely. We're going to call it the Happy Hallowarmup tonight. And yeah, so essentially last week, I fell last week and my back is fucked up. It was a very sad time for me. My back is not good at the best of times. And so, ooh, classy, I know. It's spooky lipstick. You done good. Thank you. You see, just lower your expectations. You guys will get used to it. Just bring them way the fuck down and you'll get used to it. I promise. I also put on my spider. Thank you, Mariano. Yeah. The most controversial Twix commercial of all time. I don't know what that means. It sounds rude. It's probably sexual innuendo. And that's fine. That's Fullforce Radio in a nutshell. So, in any case, yes, my little spider, I'm still holding on to this from the last time that I was in Montreal, which was at least 2 years ago, maybe longer. This might even be 3 years ago Montreal trip, but 𝖊𝖕𝖆𝖆, one of our fabulous listeners here in the community, gave me the spider ring, and I've carried it with me this whole time, me and the spider. So, you know what? Listen, accept it. We're going to do it. Like I said, I've got new releases that I want to play for you guys. And I had this great idea. I'm like, oh, I'm going to grab all my skeleton music and we're going to fucking skeleton and it's going to be amazing. Crim, you need to keep up with the times. I refuse. 𝖊𝖕𝖆𝖆𝖆 vibes. Well, that's great because Clay did that Photoshop of me, and I'm Lady 𝖊𝖕𝖆𝖆𝖆, and we'll Halloween a little bit tonight. So I thought we'd talk. I thought we'd talk a little bit about Halloween stuff going on, and some of the stuff around the neighborhood and whatnot, and what you guys are doing, and then of course some of the like Halloween fails I've been seeing, and some spooky music. Whatever. We're gonna hang out for a couple hours, and like I say, I'll have to do the Twitter tweet thing because I didn't. Because again, racing home. We could also maybe change my lighting in this room to make it a little spookier. Put some shit on the overlay. You guys can suggest some things, you know, whatever. We'll jazz it up, and then for those of you who want to listen, we'll play some heavy metal. Now, since the last week when I was out of my mind on painkillers and fucked up beyond all reason on drugs, yeah, we could do red and orange. Absolutely. I thought about getting the AR face filters. Hey, Chop Lamb, good to see you over on Theta. I may or may not have fixed the Theta overlay today, so we're going to find out. Either that or I'm going to start screaming about Metal Gear Solid again. But I'm glad to have all you guys. I was out of my mind on pain drugs last week, which was good. Some of you stuck around, and we had we had some talks on Saturday. Yeah, Saturdays in Vancouver, ain't it the truth? It's rainy, and yes, Adam knows where I live, so that noise was me going. Adam knows where I live. And hey, Sim Girl, Vancouver, when it rains, it is apocalyptic. And I actually work on one side of Metro Vancouver. And then I have to drive back to the boonies where I live. And it's fine, except Vancouver has some of the worst traffic in North America. And in fact, if you're looking for terrifying things to get you in a Halloween mood, just look up Vancouver traffic. And on my way home, if you're in the Crimsonclad Discord, you may have seen, there was a giant fuck off accident. Huge accident. Like 5 cars all just fucking destroyed. And we had to go around them. It was very slow. And that accident was causing a lot of traffic. So I had to get through the traffic and get around that accident. But that accident was caused by somebody looky-looing at another accident further up the road that was also a big fuck off accident. So you had that accident causing traffic, caused a looky-loo, caused an accident, caused traffic. It was delightful. Hey, Miguero, you're here for the new 𝖊𝖕𝖆𝖆 and 𝖕𝖆𝖆𝖆. Yeah, and you know what? 𝖊𝖕𝖆𝖆, yes, I actually haven't listened through the 𝖕𝖆𝖆𝖆 yet today either, because I got stuck on a legion, which I'm going to be putting into tonight's show as well. So we've got lots of things to do. We might have to take requests. I had this great idea that it was going to be a skeleton-centric playlist, and I thought I would have maybe 20 or 30 more minutes than I did, and by that I mean like 2 hours. But we're here and we started on time. So Creo asked about the bat. I'm going to start the show. Yeah, it probably is a different type of boonies, Jason. My boonies are still like 20 minutes from downtown Vancouver. I mean, it's a lovely place that I live. But let us have a small F in chat, because the bat has moved on. The temperature warmed up. I was crushed. I was going to tell you guys about it on Saturday, but the radio exploded. The bat has gone on to do spooky things. He hasn't died. This sounds like he's dead. He's not dead. The bat's not dead, I promise. But he has woken up. He stayed with me for just over a week while the temperature was cold. And yes, F's in the chat. F's in the chat. So, yeah, I'm crushed. My bat has left. I had these spooky Halloween dreams of having a real bat for my Halloween decorations. And unfortunately, it was not to be. And it was very sad. However, I will never forget the life-changing, hey, Stace, I'll never forget the life-changing moments we had together. Like, oh, one day I came home and one of his little feet had let go, so he was slightly askew. And then he yawned and put his foot back. Good times. Memories forever. Ah, yes. Somebody said he went on to badder things. It's like you guys want me to Hulk out live on air. That would be a good costume. I agree. But yeah, I did. I wanted to have my spooky scleral black contact lenses in. But again, best laid plans of not even mice and men, of bats and crim. Best laid plans of bats and crim. So, here's the deal. I do want to talk with you guys this week about skeletons. I want to hear about your Halloween plans. Halloween is my favorite time of year. And you guys may remember, before we get into the music, one of the most important things that we did, probably 2 years in a row, maybe 3, going on a lot of years of Halloween shows, is we talked specifically about the 12-foot tall Home Depot skeleton, because that is still the coolest Halloween decoration of all time. Don't worry about consumerism. Don't worry about all that shit. The 12-foot tall Home Depot Halloween skeleton. We were talking about all the things that you could do with it. And we were talking about how in this day and age of COVID and, you know, not being able to hand your razor blades directly to children, that you had to have some kind of thing. And I guess over the last couple years, it's Halloween for you every time you look in the mirror. Me too. Believe me, without lipstick and without the whole face, it's very scary. So here's the whole thing. You had to come up with this wild gadgets to hand children candy because, of course, we can't do anything normally in COVID world. And I mean, I did. I just handed them the fucking candy. But everybody was creating these giant, ridiculous machines and tubes just fucking like rocketing candy at people from across the, oh yeah, you're going to see Shadow of Intent. Oh God, so many concerts. Mine are coming back. slowly. Vancouver concerts are coming back. And I've actually got some on the docket for the next little bit, but we shall continue. The F's are still rolling in, I know. So sad about the bat. But so I wanted to get the 12-foot tall 𝖊𝖕𝖆𝖆 skeleton. And over the last couple of years, the thing that we settled on is I have a walkway up to my front door. It is a long, skinny walkway, and there are 2 roofs that come down and end on either side of my walkway. You have to kind of picture this. My walkway has no cover. Go fish. 2 roofs. And what we wanted to do was we wanted to position the giant 12-foot tall 𝖊𝖕𝖆𝖆 skeleton like squatting over the walkway. And so as a child, you would be forced to walk up between the skeleton's legs, and as you came under the skeleton's legs, it would shit candy on you. And it has big glowing eyes that watch you and everything. I mean, that was the idea. And I still haven't been able to get a 12-foot tall 𝖊𝖕𝖆𝖆 skeleton. And I don't really know what you would do with him in the off season. I mean, what are people doing? What would you do with a 12-foot tall 𝖊𝖕𝖆𝖆? Yes, but Pez dispenser. Except if the Pez was actually the size of a child itself, because this is a 12-foot tall skeleton. But yes, exactly. Just ass candy, which is a whole thing and might end up being the name of the show. So, I mean, what would you do with a 12-foot tall skeleton in 𝖊𝖕𝖆𝖆 the bat? I hate you. I'm shutting down the show. Forget it. In the off season, because I'm curious about this, because I live in a very small place, all considered. I don't have a lot of extra storage, all considered. Yeah, see, Clay wasn't listening, but now that I say ass candy, where do you put a 12-foot tall skeleton? I don't know. And I was just thinking, can you Christmas him up a bit? Do you just leave the skeleton up all year long and just jazz him up? Hey, Castleberry! Jazz him up a little bit more. Like, what's the right way of handling an incredibly large skeleton? If you've got to manage a 12-foot tall boner, what do you do? Stop saying R.I.P. He's not dead. Okay, so let's start with a little bit of music, and I can summon him bat. Okay, so we are going to come up with bat summoning rituals over the course of the night, and that seems fair. Just work it into the sex closet. I gotta build a sex closet, but then, man, it's on. Absolutely. Okay, so let's... What would you do for a Klondike bar? What wouldn't you do with a 12-foot tall skeleton? I'm just saying, you know, I believe that people must have come up with this. This must be a topic that people have done. I'm sure if we fucking Google this shit, we are going to find people doing terrible, terrible things with incredibly large inanimate objects. And that's just the human condition. If we were talking with Clay and Cope, that's the human condition. Didn't you say you could summon bats with metal last show? Yes, you're right. Batwoman showed up. I played a song. I made an entire playlist about bats, and then Batwoman came. It was kind of amazing. I didn't just summon a bat. All right, let's put a pin in this for a second, because I want to show you guys some stuff that I discovered while I was wandering around the interwebs. And believe it or not, it's not as candy. My name is Crimsonclad, and this is Fullforce Radio. I see quite a few people actually wandering around on all of the different platforms, so it's cool. Wherever you may be watching or listening, over on mspwaves.com or Theta TV, Vim TV, Trovo Live, YouTube, Twitch, whatever. I'm happy to have you. Tonight is supposed to be the Halloween show, but it's just kind of the show. And we'll go from there. All right. So I was going to play you guys some new music, and there's one hair that's just getting in my mouth, and I'm going to be struggling with it all night. So there we go. Ripped out. I've got some new music that I want to play for you guys, and of course I've got some like party-ish tracks. My name is Crimsonclad, and this is Fullforce Radio. So, where should we start? Because I've got everything from Slayer to Entombed. I've got Iron Maiden. I've got Green Lung, because of course I do. Striker, Allegiant, Death Angel. We've got a whole bunch of things, and I definitely want to start with just the fun stuff. So I was thinking I could play you a track called Cold Gin by Death Angel, because let's face it, there's nothing else I love in the world like a room temperature whiskey or a cold gin. My favorite things, my very favorite things. Hope your back is feeling mo better. It is okay. I mean, I told you guys, anybody that was here on Saturday heard the whole story. We don't want to waste all of Full Force Radio talking about it, but the long and the short of it is someday I'm going to have a robot back, and it's going to be amazing. And I am waiting for that day. All right. So in the meantime, while we're talking, I'll fuck around with the lights back there. We'll see what we can do to kind of zhuzh up the overlay a little bit. We'll get everything going, and I will play you guys some loud music for tonight. And then, we'll just pretend like it was the perfect Halloween show and move straight on to Saturday, right? Let's do it. So Cold Gin by 𝖍𝖊𝖆𝖆. 𝖍𝖊𝖆𝖆, I'm not sure how often I've played them for you, but they have had an incredibly varied and fun long career. And they actually ended up winning? Nominated anyways. They were nominated for a Grammy, which, let me tell you, that doesn't happen a whole lot for, you still have to put the contacts in. I have to find the contacts, and that's the problem. Because I didn't get enough time to go rummaging around in my bathroom, and I don't know if I'll be able to find them in time. So we'll see. But yes, I did want to wear them for you. I'm sorry. I'm not spooky enough. I'm sorry. God damn it. It's the Canadian in me. But yeah. So, 𝖍𝖊𝖆𝖆 actually recognized with a Grammy nomination. It's not something that happens for a lot of hard rock or metal bands, and it's nice to see. But yes, they have a track called Cold Gin, which I'm not gonna lie, that's a real Crimsonclad energy right there. So I'm gonna grab that for you guys. I am going to put it on, and we are going to have a whole lot of fun. Now, I will say, Cold Gin is off an album from 1988? 1989? So I would have been 3 or 4 years old. But, I like to think that these things age well, like me. And if I discover them later in life, then so be it. Just, contributes to my alcoholic state. I hope very soon that I will be able to have a cold gin with each and every one of you. My name is Crimsonclad. It's Full Force Radio. Let's get started tonight. go. Cold gin. The only thing that keeps us together is undying love. The love between, spirits and ghosts and ghoulies and skeletons. My name is Crimsonclad. Tonight is like a quasi-Halloween show. It was supposed to be a legit Halloween show, but of course, Vancouver traffic stepped in, and so fuck it, we're doing it live. So I have some new stuff for you guys. I have some old stuff for you guys, like that one, a classic from essentially like when I was born, about drinking. And here I am, 30 years later, fulfilling the prophecy because I make my parents incredibly proud. Hi, Mom. They're probably listening. And so I was going to make a whole sort of skeleton theme playlist, and I still could, but it doesn't matter. I've still got lots of things that I want to play for you guys tonight, and there is a lot of that sort of old school kind of chill out jams. I kind of wanted to have some of that, new wave of British heavy metal, kind of traditional heavy metal sound in tonight's playlist because it's fun. It's kind of party music. Like that track, other than the fact that it's a little horrible to think of that all your meaningful relationships are literally only salvageable with imbibing immense quantities of alcohol. Other than that, is a great kind of like party track. No. Yeah. So, speaking of my mom and speaking of skeletons and whatever else. So over in the Crimsonclad server, I was sharing some stuff with you guys because my mom made me almost pee my pants the other day. Laughing at her. Of course, laughing at her. So you may or may not have seen this, but I would love to share this all with you guys. Speaking of Home Depot and terrible commercial, Halloween... Speaking of terrible commercial Halloween garbage that people like to buy, especially at Home Depot, if you're not picking up a 12-foot tall skeleton, then may I recommend to you, something that she found on sale. And she sent it to me, and she knows me far too well, my friends. She sent me this giant chair made of bones. And she was like, you should buy this. It's regularly $378, but it's on sale for $99. It's quite big. And so she's sending me these photos of this giant throne made of bones. Now, I've dropped it in chat. I'll try and put it up on screen if I get a chance. But for those of you who are here in the Discord hanging out, you quite possibly have the best mom. My mom has come to terms with the fact that she's raised an idiot. It took her many years, probably many years of watching me here on the radio. Watching me on the radio sounds like an idiosyncrasy, but if you are here, you know how it goes. You can listen only with your ears and hear all the sort of crim ASMR sounds that I make over the course of a night, or you can watch and then you can see me being idiotic as well, and you can do that on any of your favorite streaming platforms and whatever makes you happy. But yes, my mom... Indeed. Castleberry, you nailed it. My mom sent it to me and I didn't really think anything about it. Here is this chair. It looks pretty big, but how big can it possibly be? I'm going to find it because I didn't share it originally with you guys, but I'm going to share a picture of my mother in the throne. Because she looks like this tiny little thing. And, she's out shopping, so she's wearing her mask. So that means I'm not totally outing her as my mother, although, anybody could technically find her. But she's telling me, it's very big, you should buy it. You'd really like it. So she was sending me selfies of herself in the chair. And the chair, it turns out, is quite large, actually. And she's my mom, and Lord love her. She grew up in, the emerging tech industry and went to school and is a programmer and, has worked at huge multinational corporations as like CTO and now she's, retired because of her health. But she can barely operate a fucking camera. So, of course, like, it's this much of her face. God, she's going to kill me later. It's like not even, if she didn't have a mask for COVID on, it would literally be like from her nostrils up, because apparently you're looking at yourself, and she couldn't tell where her own face is. And yes, the crown on the throne lines up with your head, which is pretty cool. But so here's the deal. She sends me this picture. And she's like, you have to get it. You need to look at this picture of me in the bone throne. And I almost died because I didn't actually notice right off the bat. But yes, indeed, Castleberry, you are correct. It is actually called the Bone Throne. And my mom sent me a picture of herself and said, hey, check me out. I'm sitting in the Bone Throne. Yeah, look at your mom. She's all cool. You got to buy the Bone Throne. Check out the Bone Throne. And she kept typing Bone Throne, and it got more and more uncomfortable, but I couldn't tell her that because then she would really be rubbing it in. And I just... There's no one on this earth that wants their mother rubbing it in the Bone Throne, is there? So, that's where I'm at with skeleton-themed Halloween decorations, is all I can say to you. It's just, that's it. I don't... Yeah, exactly. Everybody, I hope you're as uncomfortable as I am right now with skeleton-themed decor. Yeah. I wish I could make this up. I'm not making this up at all. Hi, Mom. Hope you had a good time in the Bone Throne. All right. Yeah, damn right you drink. So there you go. If you are looking for incredibly large, oversized plastic Home Depot skeleton-related paraphernalia that you could theoretically use all year round, not just during Halloween, get yourself a Bone Throne. I'm not gonna lie. I came this close to buying that fucker. I really did. If I sat during my shows, you better fucking believe that I would be sitting in the Bone Throne every day. All right. Let's continue. We'll play some music. We'll talk some shit. There we go. Ron is on to it. We were asking earlier, how do you think Crim was brought into the world? I was brought, swaddled, flown in by a tiny little bat. Because I was tiny and cute and delightful and weighed next to nothing, and there was no sexual activity that produced me whatsoever. I was immaculately conceived in some sort of strange summoning ritual. But there you go. Ron's got a picture of the giant Home Depot skeleton towering over a Christmas tree, putting lights on it. That's amazing. I don't have 12-foot ceilings, so we're going to have to find something else. All right. Let us continue. Let's do some music. I do have more stuff for you tonight. I wanted to kind of dive a little deeper and kind of spiral down towards some harder stuff, but I will actually play something brand new by Stryker. So for those of you who come to the show and you're expecting just like face-melting murder, we'll get there. We'll get there. But before we get there, I do want to play some of this fun, upbeat, sort of retro 80s sound. Now, one of the bands that I really, really love is Stryker. Not that Stryker Creodos, not Stryker with a Y, but Stryker with an I. They are a band here out of Canada, and you guys know I love my Canadian nepotism. I love to put Canadian metal bands in your ears. Stryker is this fun, sort of upbeat, cheesy take on the metal of the 80s. Retro metal and retro metal, glam metal, whatever. The stuff that often really makes people angry, yeah, that. We're gonna do that because they've just released a new track called Death Wish, and it's fun as shit. It's got that perfect... yes, Crim is legally obligated to play Canadian music. Technically, if you do want to go there... Skeleton! Is that your skeleton? Oh my gosh, I love your skeleton, Jason. He's the best. Oh my gosh, look at him just chilling out there waving at people. That's fucking fantastic. So that's the 5-foot version. You have a Home Depot skeleton. Do his eyes light up? I have so many questions. I'm jealous of your skeleton. Your boner's looking real good, man. I'm going to play this track by Stryker. It's called Death Wish, and it's got all of these cheesy 80s retro guitars in it. And I was listening to it today as sort of a counterpoint to a lot of the new tech death and sort of progressive death metal that I was listening to. And it was fantastic. And it's fun to kind of bounce back and forth. So for every person who's like, hell yeah, Crim's going to melt my face off, there's going to be somebody who's like, let's do some rock and roll and have some fun. And we're going to do that. Simgirl Scare has shared something about the Squid Game Halloween house. Can I let you guys in on a secret? I haven't watched Squid Game. Am I canceled now? I haven't. I've watched Alice in Borderland, which I thought was fantastic. And of course, I've watched Battle Royale and all of the other sort of genre type movies, but I haven't watched Squid Game yet. I don't know, man. I don't know. You could sit the 12-foot tall skeleton on the bone throne all year round. Oh my goodness, you could. I mean, in some ways, I kind of wish I could get the skeleton and he could just sit right here behind me all the time. I could just hang out here and have the skeleton just kicking it with me. Kind of be amazing, right? Maybe a little bit. Yeah, Alice in Borderland, really, really good. The storyline got a little predictable, but at the same time, beautifully done. Really great show. If you haven't watched kind of a creepy psychological thriller with some good gore and puzzle solving and, whatever, Alice in Borderland, highly recommended. So, I love SimGirl. Once they started shooting people, then it got good. Yeah, okay. That sounds about right. That sounds like that could be right up my alley. But before then, let's do some Striker, and then we'll come back because, believe it or not, I still want to talk to you guys about skeletons. I want to show you some dumb shit I found around the internet. And I guess what is a new trend, or maybe it's not a new trend, but a trend that I'm seeing in my neighborhood all the time. And, yes, Clay, that was my point. The Home Depot bone throne is down to $100. It's $99 Canadian, and I could literally go buy it. And I am pretty tempted. But it's literally called the Bone Throne. Look at this. Crown yourself as Halloween royalty with this decorative Halloween bone throne. I mean, it is what it is. Let's get through the Striker, and then we'll move into, like I said, I want to play some Entombed. Maybe we can do something like Chapel of Disease. I definitely want to play you guys some New Legion. I've got lots of stuff. Oh, that one's way cooler. All right, I declare that tonight we're just going to look up Halloween thrones, because it turns out there are a lot of thrones with skulls on them. Everybody wants a skull throne. Skulls for the skull throne. Everybody wants a throne. Just create it out of the skulls of your enemies or your friends. I mean, I don't know. This is, wasn't there a news article recently that a man actually created a guitar out of his family member, his uncle, his beloved uncle, and he had to go through the whole process of getting permission to take the bones and create a guitar out of his beloved family member. I don't know, man. Oh, Clay, I want that. Okay, see, we're in danger zone. I suspect that by the end of tonight, Crimsonclad may end up with some sort of chair, or at least more skulls in her house. But that's what Full Force Radio is all about. So we'll do the fun with Death Wish by Striker. Then we will come back and we'll do some brand new songs by some other bands, and we will descend into madness. We'll talk more about skeletons, and we'll have a quasi Halloween show because, I don't know, let's give it our best shot, friends. right. So we're testing out the Halloween setting. This was just, hey, hi, hello, hello. Yes, indeed. Welcome. Yeah, I hope you guys couldn't see my credit card number there. I'm like, they're gonna have to, can you imagine if I had to explain that? Dear credit card company, I practiced terrible OPSEC, and I was showing everybody on a live stream how badly I wanted a bone thrown. And unfortunately, it turns out everybody fucking CSI enhanced my credit card, and now I'm poor. Money, please. Welcome. I see more and more people hopping in. Otto and everybody else, hello and welcome. We're testing out some spooky Halloween settings on my lights because, of course, you can't be a streamer or a radio host or somebody doing fun shit without magical lighting. Hey, not happy? Well, okay, don't worry. Yes, that's what the bone rocker. That's when Crimsonclad gets old. That's right. But now I'm legitimately like, if we can find a reasonably priced bone throne that isn't gold plastic, I'm gonna buy. I'm going to buy it. I'm going to buy it on air. Fuck it. Tonight, forget having a reasonable, normative Halloween show where we play spooky things and function like meaningful adults. God damn it, no. I'm with Chop Lamb. I want your biggest bone throne. I want to sit right on the bone throne, and it better be big. I'll give you money for it. What could possibly go wrong? So that last track was by Stryker. New track called Death Wish, and I'm a big Stryker fan. What can I say? For every band that I love that is dark and evil and gloomy and, like just cacophonous noise tearing the flesh from my skin, I'm a big fan of like stuff like that. That's fun, that doesn't take itself too seriously. I love Battle Beast. I love power metal. I love all this kind of stuff. And Stryker is one of my favorite bands that kind of makes this fun, upbeat metal in this style. And there are a number of really great bands making like power metal and traditional metal right now. And I've been featuring them a lot on the last couple episodes. So for every band, there's a Canadian band. That's right. Because in Canada, we don't have the things that you guys in the US do. We make Canadian equivalents, You guys have something and then we make a shittier knockoff version of it. And we say it's Canadian and then we force Canadians to buy it through guilt. Sure. All right. So this has become innuendo ASMR. I'm not disagreeing with you, sir. Tonight was supposed to be the Halloween show, and it has now turned into the Halloween shit show. And we're mostly just discussing skeletons. We were going to have music about skeletons, but now mostly we're just talking about real big bones. Bones. Yes. I'm so dark and metal. Yeah, I mean, the idea was I was going to put in my spooky contact lenses. We were going to have spooky crims like we did last year. I mean, one year we did the live Halloween role play. But with that being said, you got lipstick. You got lipstick and you got metal. That's Fullforce radio. Everybody gets a boner. Now, it's called culture. Canada has culture. Yes, misfits, absolutely. So we're going to continue on, and I do have more music for you guys tonight, and there's a couple different things that I want to talk to you guys about, because one of the things that I have found is $103,000 out of the question. I mean, that is a cool fuck off neat chair, and it would actually fit in my office, because if you have been watching or listening to Full Force Radio long enough, I love that geometric vibe, and everything that I have is like black geometric faceted bullshit, and that would fit right in. I would have needed to invest in SHIB for that one. What can I say? All right, so I'll keep playing with the lights, because this was literally, I just clicked on the very first thing. It says Halloween. I tried to show you guys on the screen there. If you see, there's a pumpkin. Look, Halloween. That's what I clicked on. Oh, there's one called Ghost. Should we try the one that says Ghost? This one is Ghost, apparently. Do you guys feel more ghosty? Is this, you guys, does it feel any different? Ooh. All right, so, I'll work on the lighting issue, but at least I can do the radio issue. And again, with the hair. I want to continue on, but one of the things that I noticed while I was, thinking about and preparing for, yes, that is like an 𝖍𝖎𝖆𝖘 style chair with the giant sort of phallic dick bone. Because, I mean, if you're going to have a bone throne, then you may as well have a dick bone right up the middle of the, right up the middle of the throne. And it's fucking cool. And actually, there is a Giger bar, an HR Giger bar, and the whole bar is decked out with cool shit like that, stools and the walls and all that stuff. It's absolutely unbelievable. Very cool. We'll look that up. But let us continue on, because I want to get this out. So one of the things that I've noticed as I've become, sort of a domesticated homeowner over the last couple of years is people like decorations. I like decorations. Decorations are cool. I got myself a little lamp that looks like a fucking flame, and I put that in. Lure all the children. Yeah, let's go to the bar. Lure all the children up to my door with my flame lights, and I got little bats and shit. And this is great. And so now I'm looking, and I'm like, oh, everybody in my neighborhood has fucking killer Halloween decorations. What? How did this happen? Now I feel inadequate. I feel totally inadequate. This is like some Griswold's family vacation bullshit. I feel like I have to step up my game. So this might be the course of over the next year. I'm going to pick up as many skeletons as I can on discount to compete with the world around me. But there is this thing that's happening now that's like, I guess is a new trend, and I'm seeing it everywhere. And that is, I don't know if you guys have seen it. It is skeletons climbing houses. Have you seen this? And a bunch of the houses in my neighborhood have it. But let me show you some of these images because they're out of control. Everybody is buying a ton of skeletons, and then they are posing these skeletons like they are breaking into your home. And so if you go through my neighborhood, everybody is being overrun by hordes of skeletons. I've never seen something so much fun as this. And I don't know if this is new or whatever, but one of the guys down the way has a skeleton actually fucking like kicking in his window. And I was thinking to myself, if you did a good job with this, can you imagine waking up in the middle of the night and just happening to pass by your window and there's fucking a shadowy figure actually kicking in your window, and it's like, oh, it's a skeleton. Yes, of course, I'm safe. No, you'd shit your pants. You'd shit your ever-living pants. And this is my whole neighborhood is full of murder skeletons attacking people's homes in droves. People have them like in ramps, standing on each other's shoulders, like passing each other sharp implements. Like, people are taking this really far. They're clambering up, they're hanging from the gutters like full-size skeletons. This is the funnest shit ever. And I just want every neighborhood to stay like this. It's so fun. It's terrifying. It's awful. I feel like this is going to backfire on somebody for sure, but I love this idea. So I'll grab some photos in the break while we're listening to more music and bone on a home instead of elf on a shelf. Yes, why not? But this is so fun. I don't know if this is happening around you guys or if you've been seeing this. Maybe not. But Sim Girl says yes. And I'm so for this. I think everybody should have skeletons breaking into their home. I feel like that's delightful. And it'd be so much more work to break into a home that's already being broken into. Like, I think this is brilliant. And I love this. But one thing that I don't love, and I'm starting to feel like 𝖊𝖕𝖆𝖆𝖆 here in the things that I've been finding is, apparently, and this is, I'm going to say it, this is one of those white women must be stopped thing. One of the things that I have seen that apparently is really big. Jason says, we're going to take our skeleton camping with us this weekend. Gonna do shenanigans. Sir, I know exactly what you're referring to, but at the same time, that sounds like Bone Throne territory. Please, you and Melody are going to be experimenting with the boner. But I digress. So here's the thing that I've seen, and like I said, it's a white woman must be stopped thing, and I know we're not supposed to say that, and we're post-race in 2021, but here's the deal. Women in my area, out on their front porches and verandas, are putting up Halloween trees. Have you seen this? I'm trying to decide if I hate this or not, and I'm pretty sure I hate this. Halloween trees are a thing. I don't know why, But people are doing this. They're buying Halloween tree ornaments. They are going out of their way to put up trees that are covered in like spider webs and stuff. And that's what people are doing, is Halloween trees are a thing. And I'm trying to decide if this is because you are totally obsessed with Christmas and you need more Christmas, or if you're totally obsessed with Halloween and you need more Halloween. I'm struggling to understand what the fuck this is. But the more that I see these, the more I fucking hate them. Maybe that makes me a bad person. But honest to God, if you have a Halloween tree, give your head a shake. Take a look at yourself. What are you doing? How dare you enjoy holidays? You're terrible. It's bad and you're bad and you should feel bad. All right. All right, let's do some classic Entombed, man. Let's do some Entombed off their, it's a self-titled album. It's from the late 90s, I think, 1990 something. Let's do some Entombed because I don't know, man. I just can't. Decorative trees. Decorative trees in all seasons. Don't do it. Corbin says he'll allow a Halloween tree if you get to light it on fire on Halloween night, Guy Fawkes style. Yeah, you know what? Okay. We will somehow, we'll have to have some sort of ritual that involves the bone throne and the Halloween tree, and you burn the Halloween tree and it brings back the bats, or maybe it sends the bats away. I don't know. Chop lamb. Sorry, I didn't know I needed it until I saw it in the store. Oh no. Yes! Simgirl, that's sick. So there you go. Simgirl just shared a picture of a house around her area. You notice they have the 12-foot tall skeleton. Check. They've got the fucking boat on the river Styx with death and the boat full of skulls. That's amazing. And they've got skeletons breaking into the windows. And in fact, one of them is actually eating shit and hanging from the windows. A++ would decorate again. You may go to their house, Simgirl, and tell them that Crimsonclad from the internet thinks they're okay. All right. So we're going to do some classic Entombed. And Entombed is a band that I actually haven't really, I haven't played enough of on Fullforce radio. And they're one of those bands that they're very important when you go through the history of death metal. And of course, they're from, Scandinavia. And they were sort of at the forefront of that whole satanic panic, black death metal uprising that we often talk about that swept across Europe in the late 90s. They were at the forefront of that. And so, mid-90s, death metal was a phenomenon. For metalheads, it was new and it was enticing and it was incredible and it was exciting. And for everyone else, it was terrifying and you're going to die and everything's on fire and we're all scared and they're sacrificing babies and, all that. And, all of the things that people are so divided on about metal. And so their debut album was Left Hand Path, and there were some great tracks on there that I almost played tonight. But I picked one off of an album from 1997, and I wanted to kind of focus on the Halloweeniness of it all. So I'm going to play you a track called Night of the Vampire. $83 for the Black Skull armchair. I'm gonna try. What do you guys think I'll get? I'll probably get like a fucking... It can't possibly be that big, can it, Clay? I'm gonna try. $82. One size. Default in the photo. Okay, so here's the thing. One thing that I've learned ordering on the internet, ordering on the neenernets, if you guys have done this, and many of you probably have in a scary sort of way, here's something that makes me nervous right off the bat. Available options. Size. You have one size or default in the photo. You actually have two choices here. And I'm concerned because one size, you don't know what the size is, and default in the photo, you don't know anything about it. So if you go down to the description, it's just a picture. There's nothing. And the reviews are very clearly not real reviews. Let me tell you about the reviews on this chair. I am in complete love with these. The obsession is real. They look like an expensive item, but isn't. I am buying it for gifts. Just adorable. I really love them. Please remember, this is supposed to be a giant skull that you sit in. Adorable. These are so adorable. I love them. From Kirsten LaPlante. Yolanda says, I got this for my friend. He love it. Thanks. Fast shipping, good deal. And Shani, I love them so much. They fit as expected and are a decent quality. Obsessed with these. I have questions. I suspect that this is not a chair. Yeah, I mean, I love this. I'm tempted to spend $83 and see what I get. Do you guys think we should do it? Should I buy this thing live on air and then I will unbox it and show you what I get for $83? Because I tell ya, I swear to God, this is probably going to be this big. And it may be the most ridiculous $83 that I've ever spent. But if we're going to celebrate Halloween, we may as well celebrate Halloween. The question is, do I choose one size or do I choose default in the photo? This is very important and I feel like I have to get this right. I'm going to leave that up to you guys as we go. Do it. Do it. I will. I'm going to, you guys think I'm fucking joking. I'm going to buy this chair on air tonight. And I swear to God, it's going to get here and it's going to be this big. And you will all laugh and it will be amazing. And I will cry myself to sleep. And that's good entertainment, motherfuckers. So over the course of tonight, while we play, Corbin says, I mean, the other one was only $126,000. So, I mean, pretty close. Could be a chair. That one's really cute, Ron. Somebody really put a lot of effort into that. They took Grandpa's rattan chair and spray point. Oh, it's Rob Zombie's chair. Okay, so Rob Zombie took Grandpa's rattan chair, put a pleather seat on it with some nail head studs, spray painted it black, and put a couple plastic skulls on it. Delightful. Rob Zombie knows what's up. I'm going to buy this. I'm going to spend $83 on air tonight. What could possibly go wrong? This is Halloween. Hooray! Let's do it. So listen, I'm going to play you this Entombed track. It's called Night of... Yeah, and a bat. You're right, and a bat. My bad. It's called Night of the Vampire. It's a great track. It has all of the sort of like monster murder mystery vibes that Halloween has come to encapsulate for North Americans, right? I mean, this is awesome. I was working in the lab one night. There's a fascination with monsters and ghoulies and goblins and ridiculousness. So I'm going to play you this by one of arguably the most important death metal bands of all time. A track called Night of the Vampire from the height of the death metal satanic panic insanity crossing Europe. And a band that if you are kind of working your way into the history of metal, and if you've been spending a lot of time at the show, and we've often talked about sort of the origins and the spread of different types of subgenres of metal, death metal, you can't go wrong with Entombed. They're an important part of the learning process. And for you here tonight, well, they've got a skull and crossbones on the cover. Boners for all. It's Fullforce Radio. I'm going to buy the chair. Let's do it. Oh, I'm an idiot. Let's try this again. Abso-fucking-lutely. There you go. Entombed from the mid-90s. I took a little drink for Julia there. Welcome back. It's Fullforce Radio. My name is Crimsonclad. I have the Halloween seizure lights going. Apparently, this lighting scheme is called Ghost. Yeah. And you know, that's the reality. That's classic Swedish death metal. They started in 1990, and the band lineup that you just heard from that last track is actually different than the original lineup, and there's some changes to vocals and different members of Entombed, but they were releasing music through the mid-2000s, right up till 2019. They actually released some singles. So yeah, Entombed, a really important. Bye. I hope you come back, pig. We miss you. Come around anytime. Oh, I love your oink oink emoji. Oink oink to you too, friend. I hope you scare some children this weekend. So yes, of course, that is the classic heavy metal trope. The long-haired fellows just looking menacing in the snow. I mean, that's metal in a nutshell. It's what we make fun of. You know, the one of the guys in full corpse paint, like, you know, doing the Dark Souls memes through the snow. Very important. Yeah, that's metal. What can I say? But that is a great track. Those are some fabulous albums, and Entombed is a really important part of that sort of rise and popular death metal in the mid-90s. And I highly recommend checking out their discography, depending on what you like. But you scare children every day. Well, give an extra one. So here's the deal. If you've been with us for the first half of this show, we have been talking a little bit about my mom sending me selfies in the bone throne, which sounds pretty rude. Talking about bats and skeleton Halloween decorations and all the stupid shit that is out there. And we've been laughing about Halloween trees and taping skeletons to your house and giant skeletons shitting candy on children and, you know, all those wonderful sort of wholesome things that come up with the topic of Halloween. And right before the break, we were talking a little bit about, well, I want to buy a chair, and Clay found a chair. And the chair is $83. And I'm like, I'm going to buy the chair. I'm going to do it. Fuck it. What's $83 for the sake of entertainment? And that is a real question. Well, here's the deal. I'm going through the checkout process. First of all, I'm going through the checkout process, and I am concerned. I've entered my address, and the freight for the chair is $0. And I'm like, I am purposefully compromising my credit card for you. That's what's happening. Let's be very realistic. Like, what is this site even called? Shop Store. And yes, I see. The website logo says Shop Store. And up at the top in the URL, it's warehouse3e.top/ And the chair that we have chosen, you have two choices on the size of the chair. It's the Black Skull armchair for $83 and $0 shipping. It comes in one size, or size as shown in photo. And so I've gone through checkout. I've said, okay, I'm going to pay. And it has now popped up PayPal. I swear to God, this is a PayPal phishing link, but we're going to find out. Don't worry, I'm not going to totally lose everything on air. But so here's the deal. No shipping whatsoever. And it says in giant letters, your privacy is important to us. We will only contact you if there's an issue with your order. So I have now clicked on PayPal. And my dudes, I don't know if this is PayPal or not. Oh, what's the worst that could happen? Did you pick default or one size? I picked one size because I'm with Julia. What could go wrong? One size. I want a size. Size is good. What's $84 among friends who want to see someone foolishly spend $84? And that is a good question. So I've clicked on the PayPal link. It's $82 USD, which means that it's going to be approximately $17,000 and change Canadian. But that's fine. It wants me to log into PayPal. I sure as hell am not going to do that. Because I'm fairly certain that this is... I don't know if this is actually PayPal, guys. I mean, it is PayPal.com. It doesn't look like it's spoofing it. The certificate is actually issued to PayPal Inc. in San Jose, California. I don't know if I even have a PayPal account. Can I check out as a guest? Is that possible? Can I do that? I can't. I don't use PayPal. I don't have anything hooked up with PayPal. Do I have to like set up a whole PayPal account on air? Guys, I'm going to try and do this in a way that is meaningful and try not to get fished live on air. Let's play some more music. What could possibly go wrong? Everything. If I have to cancel this credit card, I'll be slightly vexed. But you know what? It's worth it. It's worth it. Let me see what could happen. Let's figure it out. Okay, so we are playing all sorts of stuff tonight. Don't do it. I know, Otto, but Otto, I have to get people to like me. And also, I want to sit in a skull. So, we'll continue. One thing that I do want to do, because we were talking about skeletons and everything else, and we were talking about Halloween and decorations and all the things that are going on. You do have a PayPal. You just tipped me through it. Hey, you found me again. Good to see you. Hey, fun, fun, fun. So I do have a PayPal. Excellent. That's great. That is hooked up with one of my streaming platforms. I'm so glad to see you back. And I'm just trying to figure out if you're on the new Twitch or not. Yay, there you are. Hi. Okay, so welcome. I'm so glad to have you guys with me. We are doing terrible things, and I am sketchily farming for likes by buying chairs online because I did not have enough time to set up a proper Halloween episode. And so instead, I am going to compromise my financial safety and potentially, maybe, possibly get myself a chair. Alrighty, so let's continue on. I'm going to double check everything that's happening, and we're going to continue because we just did some Entombed. I'm trying to turn all of this stuff off here, and we're going to continue with some music. It's not the size of the throne, it's the motion in the bone ocean. Indeed. So I'm glad you're back. I hope you had a fun time, and I'm now officially on a different Twitch channel. So I will just throw that out there. If you guys have been looking for me and can't find me, we were like a little bit away from You Love My Setup. Thank you. Yes, of course. The ghostly lighting really does it for you, hey? We'll put some stuff on the overlay. But so the idea was, Halloween episode, and now we're struggling. Hey, Johnny. Hi, everybody. But I was on a different Twitch channel before, and I just want to throw that out there. If Twitch is the way that you watch or listen or hang out or engage with the radio, that's great, and I love to have you. But I left the old Twitch channel, and I'm on a new Twitch channel. And there are still some things that are slightly caught in purgatory between channels. So if I don't acknowledge you following or liking, or I'm not quite as quick with some of the notifications, I totally apologize. I am slowly coalescing back into a human form, but for tonight, ghostly. You can tell because the lights are orange. Ghost. Boo. All right. So let's keep going on. Talking about masks, and not the COVID type, because I know that's a scary thing. And talking about, children getting Halloween candy and whatnot. Masks in general, are a perfect part of Halloween, right? Like the Halloween mask is a cliche for a reason. And so one of the bands out there that actually has a mask that became synonymous with metal is actually Quiet Riot. And if you guys remember the album cover for *𝖊𝖕𝖆𝖆, oh, me love you long time. Yes, I love it. Fantastic. If you remember the cover of Quiet Riot's *𝖊𝖆𝖆, which is just a classic fucking album, there is the guy wearing the straight jacket, and he's got the sort of old school hockey mask with the Hannibal Lecter like mouth on it. Well, they actually have and are auctioning off the Quiet Riot *𝖊𝖆𝖆 mask, which I thought was so cool, and I kind of wish that I could put some money into. Let me grab it. There's a mask that is... Woo! There you are. I knew you'd come back to me. I'm just going to share this in the chat, but if you guys haven't seen it, there you go. So Quiet Riot's original mask from the *𝖊𝖆𝖆𝖆 cover is actually being auctioned off, and there's a number of different items from the metal scene, but That would be the absolute fucking best Halloween costume. Red leather straight jacket and like creepy ass mask. So fun. And so I thought we could definitely play maybe metalhead, because that is a classic sort of 80s metal. Hey, Polar Maestro! 80s metal track. It's not a super great fit with Halloween, but the mask, of course, is. Now, while you guys are debating that, and I'm deciding if I'm going to get brutally fished by a Chinese like dollhouse furniture reseller, because I swear to God I'm going to spend $80 on a dollhouse chair, but I'm going to do it for you. While we're doing that, I actually want to play you another song about a mask, and it is a classic. It's a classic. It is, of course, by Slayer. Now, if you remember, one of the sort of best ways of thinking about masks at Halloween, when we're not thinking about ghouls and goblins, is, of course, serial killers. Who doesn't love a good serial killer reference? And I'm going to play you a track by Slayer called Dead Skin Mask, which is, of course, Ed Gein, and is a reference to quite literally skinning someone, making a mask out of their face and wearing it on your own face. Now, if that isn't particularly metal, and also particularly Halloween, I don't know what is. So I'm going to play you guys some Slayer. I am going to try and figure out how to actually log into my PayPal and potentially lose everything that I've worked so hard for financially. All in pursuit of making you guys happy, because my name is Crimsonclad and this is Fullforce Radio. Sass talk, heavy metal, good shit like that. And, we are simply... That one is cool, Julia. We are simply enjoying our time here together tonight because, of course, I got stuck in traffic, I raced home, I put on some lipstick, and we decided to get fucking spooky. Let's do it. I'm going to play you a track called Dead Skin Mask by Slayer here on Fullforce Radio.
I've been here all along. Now that you've arrived, please stay a while. And I promise I won't keep you long. I'll keep you forever.
rush of dead warm flesh pacifies me. Inside members ornament on my feet, adulating the skin before me. Simple smiles elude psychotic eyes, lose all mind control, rationale decline. Empty eyes enslave the creation of process faces in lifeless passion. Dead with the dead in my dreams. Listen to the hello scream. The dead have taken my soul. Temptation lost all control. Dance with the dead in my dreams. Listen to the hello scream. The dead have taken my soul. Temptation lost all control.
If you're wondering why I look so confused, it's because I'm fairly certain that my credit card is definitely going to get compromised. My friends, I just bought the chair, and I'm incredibly nervous. I mean, technically, I did actually. There's no way this is real, you guys. I did technically use PayPal, and everything was okay, but I sent it to 𝖊𝖕𝖎𝖆𝖆@hotmail.com. I think we're gonna have to do a chargeback. Guys, I'm not gonna get a chair, I don't think the chair is coming. Oh, goodness. But you never know. We'll see. Interestingly enough, it didn't actually try to steal my card, which is what I was expecting and why it took me so long to go through the process, because I was watching the URLs, I was watching the forwarding process, I was watching the, all of the different tokens, just trying to make sure that, like, if nothing else, I'm not actually compromising my account. But no, yes, they're going to send me a picture of the chair. Yes, if you select as shown in, yes. Good thing I selected one size. So we'll see. I actually think this is hilarious. We'll see what I get. But it actually means, oh, don't worry, guys. I have 180 days from the date of transaction to open a dispute in the resolution center. What could possibly go wrong? So we'll see. But never let it be said that I won't do anything to entertain you. But I mean, I want them to make some kind of, like, tiny, confusing chair. Oh, goodness gracious me. How to order. This is just a phishing site. But maybe. Like, let's see here. Here you go. Select your favorite products, their sizes and quantities, then add them to your shopping cart. After filling out the shipping address information, finally choose the payment method to complete the payment. Order completed, we will send you an email including your order information and payment method. If you do not receive an email, check your spam email, please. As we prepare your package and send it, we will send you an email to give you the tracking number of your package, and you can track the package online in real time. I want a chair. I don't care if it's 1 inch tall, but never let it be said that I am not, that I'm not worth some fun. And yes, thank you so much, because I do see that that Pikes Peak is back and has indeed sent a tip. So I'm going to try and get that to fire on the overlay for you guys tonight. Thank you, sir. I would love to let you know that I am using your money in fabulous and important and relevant metal ways, and I definitely am not sending it to 𝖊𝖕𝖆𝖆𝖘 in China for a picture of a chair. worst that could happen? What's the worst that could happen, guys? These are the real questions. Asking the real questions. I love you. All right, so I will have that fire on. I will have that fire on. Yes, the bone throne cometh. Okay, so let's get back, because we do only have like 40 minutes left in the show. Let's get back to some more music, shall we, friends? Now that I've entertained you by potentially, I don't know, giving Chinese hacksaws my home address, let's continue on with the Halloween thing. So like I said, my goal tonight was to put together a playlist that had some of the new music that's out there, getting people excited, that is a lot of fun, and then also kind of bringing up some of these classic tracks and stuff that fit in with the Halloween vibe. So while we are doing getting crimmed so chat doesn't have to. Thank you for your sacrifice. Hi and bye. Movement 19. Yeah, getting scammed, getting crimmed. It's all the same thing. Listen, I want you guys to have a good time, and I want you to listen to nice, loud music. So I just played you Dead Skin Mask by Slayer. The overwhelming sort of response in chat was that you guys abso-fucking-lutely do want to hear Metal Health, and who am I to tell you that you're wrong? Now, you know, do you guys know much about Quiet Riot? Because that is a pretty important band when you get down to the evolution of some of these ridiculous sort of glam, in-your-face, over-the-top, cheesy 80s metal. And so Quiet Riot, if you've never seen them, they're still making music and looking pretty fucking seen. But I mean, Quiet Riot, I'm pretty sure, was formed in 1980, perhaps, like years before I was born, by Kevin DuBrow. And, you know, lots and lots of different artists came and go, and not going to take it. Yeah, artists came and go, and the lineup has changed.
For
Thank
a long
you very
friendship,
much.
Dark Halloween.
Thank you, friend. Thank you, Otto. So, while we're continuing, Quiet Riot became this crazy phenomenon because they had Come On Feel the Noise, they had Metal Health. I mean, they had these bangers that were perfect for radio. And so for a lot of people in the 80s, they were used to a lot of rock and roll. They were used to a lot of sort of the glam aspect of things. Pop was really obviously riding high on the charts. And then you had albums like Condition Critical and Metal Health. And these were albums that kind of introduced some of these fun and ridiculous metal arena hard rock anthems. And, you know, they started bringing some of the stuff that was happening in the more underground bands to the actual radio charts, like nationwide in America. And so, you know, you guys probably know many of the songs, but the two that you will know the most, obviously, is Come On Feel the Noise. That was a spectacular one. Or Metal Health. And Metal Health has a special place for me. Either the bot is shitting out or the crim is shitting out. Well, I'm going to say it's probably the bot because everything looks great over here. But gentle reminder, if you are watching or listening from anywhere around the neenernets, the interwebs, the weeble wobbles, then better out than in, Castleberry says, then you can always jump to another stream to find better audio quality. I highly recommend watching somewhere like Theta TV or Vim TV or Trovo Live. Those are alternative streaming platforms that aren't like the big guys like Twitch or YouTube. But Twitch or YouTube have incredible quality. So you know what? Don't let me tell you what to do. Hey, Groff, good to see you. Am I feeling better? Not particularly, but who cares? It's Halloween. All right, so I'm going to play Metal Health for you guys. Bang Your Head, Metal Health, because that was one of those tracks that for me, coming back to it and discovering it after the fact, I did not obviously discover it at the time. I didn't hear it on main radio play. This wasn't a normal thing for me because I wasn't of an age. I was still just a twinkle yet. And the reality was, it was referenced in so many other places that it became something that I had to look at. It was referenced in magazines by, bands that I was listening to. It was referenced in articles. It was referenced in, books and literature that were exploring the history of metal. And it actually was even, even referenced in some of the actual books, like fantasy and fiction books that I was reading at the time that still had aspects of metal in them. So I had to go out of my way to kind of discover Quiet Riot because, of course, we're all far too young and cool for that old boomer music. But I want to play it for you guys because it's good fun. And yeah, if you've got some money to drop, then of course you can go out of your way to buy the Metal Health mask, which I'm not gonna lie, I would wear it for every Halloween forever and ever. We've still got time in the show. I've got new Allegiant. I've got some other tracks that I want to sneak in. So we're going to keep moving things along. Thank you so much for the donations tonight and all of that fun stuff. I will, I'll let you know if I get a picture of a chair or not, or if I just get my entire identity stolen. It's a 50-50 crapshoot, but hell, why not? Metal Health will drive you mad. And if you're not mad already, what the hell are you doing at Full Force Radio? Yes. Hey. Hello. It is Fullforce Radio, and that was Mental Health, the classic by Quiet Riot. Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. All right. So the chat is full of emoji spam. I promise by next week, I actually have some thoughts on how to fix that. But here's the thing. One of my favorite parts of this show is I don't, and much to my chagrin and probably much to my detriment, I don't force you to go to any one specific platform to come hang out with me for this show. Maybe you listen, maybe you watch, maybe you stream, consume, laugh your fucking ass off while I send money to Chinese scammers. You know, a little bit of everything. But the reason that I actually bring this up is because I don't want to force you to go to any one platform. And so what that means is that I actually bridge all of the chats from all of the platforms together. And sometimes that means what works on one platform looks like gobbledygook on another. I know that that's the case. So one of the things that I will be doing at the very least is for Discord is I will be connecting up some of the emojis from different platforms so that maybe there's some semblance of normalcy. But you do you. I don't care. I'm just glad to have you. And yeah, Choblam, you're so right. One thing 80s metal knew how to do was to drag out a 2-minute song into a 5-minute song. Ain't that the truth? What is Canada's equivalent of spam? We have spam. Here's the deal. We often knock off American things, but we also get all the American things too. And most of the stuff we have is just American. And we're like, yeah, we like it. Because, I don't know, you guys, we have to do all the things you guys do. We're like your shitty little brother and mom, whoever mom is, I don't know, the UN or whatever, is like, okay, take Canada with you. I mean, you've heard that joke before, but it's the truth. Like, oh, God, do we have to? Oh, fucking Canada. Oh, they're the lame. Ugh. Come on, let's go, Canada. Pick it up. It's not untrue. What is you guys' macaroni and cheese equivalent? I can't remember the name. You're thinking of poutine. But that's not actually our mac and cheese equivalent. We have macaroni and cheese, I promise. We have fucking mac and cheese. But we have something called poutine. We have French fries with gravy on top with squeaky cheese curds, and it's fucking delicious. And if you've never had a good poutine, then you're not living. Okay, so tonight is a kind of half-assed Halloween. Half-assed Halloween. It was supposed to be the Hallowarmup, but it's wait, craft dinner. Are you guys saying that you guys don't have craft dinner? Is craft dinner Canadian? Okay, well, I learned something tonight. Yes, craft dinner is the branded mac and cheese. But here's the thing. And I'm going to give you Crim's tip of the night. If you've never made mac and cheese from scratch, you're doing it wrong. Okay? What the hell is squeaky cheese curds? Good question. You guys have Kraft macaroni and cheese, but we don't call it Kraft dinner. Nobody calls it Kraft dinner. They call it mac and cheese. Nobody actually calls it Kraft dinner. It's like 99 cents a box. It's got that orange snot in it. Just throw it all in a pot. I don't know. Squeaky cheese curds. Yes, let's talk a little bit about poutine. But before we talk about that, I want to get back in the Halloween mood because since, of course, you guys just watched me probably send $80 into space, and I'm going to have to do a whole, I'm going to have to do a chargeback, and it's going to be a whole thing. Going to have to secure my identity. But there is, a small chance that I could get a chair. I could maybe get a chair. And not only that, I could maybe get, Viking Adventure sent me these really cool skull planters. I could maybe get a chair this size. I'd be okay with that. That'd be worth $80, right? To get a tiny little skull? I mean, yeah, sure, why not? But here's the deal. I was looking for things. And speaking of things that you can get off of Chinese resellers and sketchy sites around the internet, I wanted to show you guys because I was looking around on Wish earlier. And I've never bought anything from Wish because I know. How do you make macaroni and cheese from scratch? It's mac and cheese. You make the noodles, you make the sauce, you put the noodles and the sauce together, and then you bake it in the oven. It's important. You can make it from scratch. I think it's because Marco comes from a place where you can't, or you can't necessarily just go and get a box of craft dinner. You can get a $80 vodka bottle and get a skull. Actually, chopped lamb, here in Canada, they have the little baby ones. And actually, I don't think I have one up here, but I do. I do have Crystal Head vodka. And I'm such a sucker. I don't know about you guys. I'm such a sucker when I go through the checkout at the liquor store. They always have really tiny, cute bottles. And I buy them because they're inexpensive. And yes, I'm an alcoholic, but I'm not. I am. But it's just because they're tiny and adorable. And at Halloween, everything has like a little skull or some little spooky label. And it's like, do I need another $9 bottle this big? Like, no, of course not. Am I going to buy it anyways? Abso-fucking-lutely. I mean, there's skull. If there's something shaped like a skull, I will buy it and I will put it in my house and it will live in my house because skulls. That's why. Fuck you. That's why. All right. So let's continue on because I wanted to say, I was going to show you guys something. I've never bought anything off Wish since we're talking about the sketchiest shit that ever sketched. And so here's the deal. I was looking for just Halloween decorations and I was looking for things you can hang because, you know, I've got my little walkway and I was just for shits and giggles, I was looking and I was on the whole skeletons hanging off the house, breaking into the house and whatnot. And I found this. Now, you're going to take a little look here because it's a set of different types of items. Scary, bloody, fake latex, arm, hand, foot, heart, brain, finger, horror props, bloody, haunted party. Now, I want you to click on that picture and take a quick peek at what they are calling fingers. There is, yeah, I mean, again, not safe for work if you're clicking on that link. There is, as I was looking through this, a penis. There's a severed penis. On Wish, you can buy for $7 an assortment of small items, and in there is a little severed penis along with a bunch of other things. I'm not even sure what this one is. Maybe it's a nose. I don't know. And then I'm like, oh, a dick! Can you imagine going to Wish and being like, yes, I would like some ears to hang outside of my Halloween or whatever, and you open the box and there's what looks like a realistic severed penis in the box. I don't know. Seems about par for the course. The long and the short of it is maybe don't order things from China. I'm not trying to tell you how to live your life, but do as I say and not as I do. Maybe don't order random packages of things. Maybe don't order random packages of things off the internet because you will get a little dick on a string in the mail. That's what you're gonna get. You think you're gonna buy, some Halloween decorations? Nah, here's your dick. Welcome to Fullforce Radio. All right, so let's continue on because some of you have been desperately waiting for new music, hoping upon hoping and praying upon praying that maybe I would play something that wasn't trash. Oh, Lord. Hoping, praying, desiring, and indeed I will. So I've got a couple of new tracks, and then I've got something Halloween-y, and then we're going to just have to power through music because we got to get it done. So Corbin says he has received at least 6 high-quality wives from China. Good man. You bought your Yoda phone from Wish. Have you bought anything from Wish and it has not been a disaster? I want to know. That seems like an important thing. Maybe we can look for chairs on Wish. I'm going to play you something by 𝖊𝖕𝖆𝖆. And now I love 𝖊𝖕𝖆𝖆. I'm a huge, huge fan. And so these guys they're tech death, they're progressive, and melodic death metal all rolled into one. And if you go through their discography, which I have been doing slowly on the show here, you could kind of see a real curve and an uptick in their music. Not that it was ever bad, but they're getting better every album. And that doesn't always happen with bands. So I'm a huge fan, and you can find Gregoroth you can find him on Twitch. He does guitar lessons. They're a really cool band. They're really accessible. They're really interesting, fun people to kind of chat with back and forth. And You also find like crossover with their members. You guys know I have shared nuclear power trio with you in the past. The incredible world prog fusion band made up of masked dictators, including Trump. Don't tell me how you feel about Trump. I don't care. It's good music and it's funny. So I want to play. They just released a new single, and it is sick. Where a lot of their tracks up to this point have been leaning more death metal, they have released a bunch of covers in the past that have been really popular. You guys may remember they did an incredible one of Rush's Subdivisions, and then there was also a cover of the song Roundabout, which I think I've played for you at least 1,000 times, and that I still to this day will put on in the car and scream at the top of my lungs. It's fantastic. But they've just released their latest single, and it came out literally overnight. I shared the YouTube video over on the Twitter twat, but I want to share this with you guys because it is still death metal. There are still growling and unclean vocals, but there's this sort of shift in the middle of this new track to a progressive sound that almost has hints of intervals, of this sort of light, kind of bright, clean singing prog, but there's still this blast beat underneath it, and there's still this sort of creeping darkness overlaying it, and it is fantastic. What can I say? I'm a really big fan. I'm so excited for this new album. This new single is great, and I want to put this in your ears. If there's nothing else that I can play tonight, this is the track of the night that I want you guys to take away. So it's called Into Embers. Is it Halloween-y? No, but you know what? Hell, it's orange. Things are on fire. I've potentially lit my financial future. Just a match, just into space. And sure, Into Embers. So I'm going to play you guys some New Allegiant, and we'll come back and we'll see how much music I can fit into tonight's show. I hope you guys are having fun. We're buying skull chairs, something bone thrown, don't get attacked by a skeleton crawling through your window, Halloween but low effort, yada yada yada. Spooky but make it Crimsonclad. It's Full Force Radio. it's also pretty bad. Why you got to be so mean? It's bad. Yeah! Yes! There you go. So that was brand new. 𝖊𝖐𝖆𝖆, my friends. I'm so glad to have you here. We're coming towards the end of my scheduled time. Listen, big apologies from me. My name is Crimsonclad if you're just tuning in, because I could see people coming and going. Sometimes I play tracks like that and people are like, but then some of you jump in. So it's great to see Matt has hopped in. He has the Ungovernable podcast. It's fucking fantastic. And I'm happy to have you. So tonight was supposed to be a Halloween show, but in true Crimsonclad style, I crumbed it up. I live in Vancouver, BC, the wet coast of Canada. And of course I got sidetracked by the most horrible traffic that you can imagine. And so it means I got home and I had a bunch of things that I wanted to play for you, and I had a playlist prepped, but the spooky aspect of the playlist and the idea of getting the eyeballs, my spooky black contacts in and everything, gone out the window. So we have made the best of it tonight. We've talked about the Bone Throne, buying skeleton-related gewgaws that we do not need from Home Depot and working them into our home decor, skeletons breaking into your homes, something about detached penises. And at some point, we got looking at skull chairs. And live on air, I purchased with my with my credit card, I purchased a chair knowing full fucking well it is coming from a Chinese scam site. But goddamn it, $80 doesn't seem too much to spend, because what if I get a chair? What if I even get a tiny chair? Hey, Sepson, what if? These are the questions we got to ask ourselves. Guys, I'll live a little so you don't have to. I'm so happy to have you all here tonight, and it's been fun nonetheless. We've played some old classics from bands like Entombed and Quiet Riot. We've played new releases by bands like Striker, and that was 𝖊𝖐𝖆𝖆. Now, 𝖊𝖐𝖆𝖆 does tech death crossed with prog, melodic death metal, and I am so excited for this new album. So I agree with everybody who's like, whoa, this fucking slaps. Like, yeah, there's a lot going on. But one of the things that I like about 𝖊𝖐𝖆𝖆 so much is they're excellent at bringing force, tons of notes, a lot of speed, a lot of complexity, and yet... Thank you, Flight Lounge Beats. Thanks for coming to hang out. Music channel. Well, it's kind of music, and it's kind of just me being an idiot live for 2 hours, but I put music in there to fool you into, like, every time you're like, wow, I need to leave this broad's insane. Then I play a song and you're like, oh, okay. So you see, I'm grooming you into hanging out with me. And you know what? If I do a good job, then it ends up being consensual. So we will see in the next couple weeks, because I dropped in chat, I actually got a confirmation number from this scammer. Maybe I'll actually get a chair. I suspect I'll get an emailed photo of a chair, or I will get a chair this big. But maybe, just maybe, I want to live in a world where the possibility that I got a spooky Halloween skull thrown live on live on Fullforce Radio for you guys happens. And I'm willing to take that chance. So, new 𝖊𝖐𝖆𝖆, fucking fantastic. I'm going to run out of time here, but we are going to go slightly overboard, because when do we not? Because I want to play some new Greenlung. I'm madly in love with Greenlung. And I thought maybe we should all have a sing-along for the end of the show, because there is, this little band called Iron Maiden. I kind of like them. I mean, they're not that big, but we have this tradition that here on Fullforce Radio, we always try to end the show by upping the irons. And so, thinking about Halloween and Halloween decorations and skulls for the skull-thrown and blood for the blood god, and we've just crossed over into bolt thrower territory and Warhammer 40k. I thought maybe we could all sing Fear of the Dark together. So I have a couple of extra tracks. If you want to stick around live on the radio, everything will end in about a minute or two. But on the streams, we will go just slightly over time, like 15 minutes over time, because I've got a couple of extra tracks. So here's what we're going to do for the last little bit of the night. We are going to do Iron Maiden's Fear of the Dark. We are going to do a great track called Reaper's Scythe, brand new Greenlung from a newly released album in the last couple weeks. And I'm going to play something from one of my favorite nerdy cover bands out there. And it's a single guy. And, you know, many of these sort of metal takes are a single dude creating these awesome multi-layered metal versions of songs. Leo is one of them, but there's a guy called Miracle of Sound, and what he started doing was video game metal covers, and he's got these incredible albums where he was creating like weekly and monthly songs, metal tracks, and tracks in all sorts of different genres from video games. But he put out a perennial seasonal classic here like 6 years ago, and you guys may know I fucking love spooky, scary skeletons. You guys know I love the 10-hour dance remix. I love all of it. It's hilarious. It's Halloween weekend and we got to celebrate it. So I'm going to play you the metal version of Spooky, Scary Skeletons by Miracle of Sound. And that's how we're going to wrap up tonight. So there's still a lot on the docket. I thought about playing some Chapel of Disease. I'm going to carry that into the next week. Some of the things that are coming up for future Full Force Radio episodes, because this one was so very weak historically, I have got a deep dive 6 Degrees of Mutilation episode into 𝖊𝖕𝖆𝖘 and Death Clock because you guys asked for it. I've got a 6 Degrees of Mutilation, deep dive into a band called Brocus Helm, who are one of my favorite bands of all time, thrash metal bands. And I actually have got a pre-order coming that I'm going to do an unboxing with you guys. And there's a lot of stuff coming down the pipe. I've been asked to do another Tech Death Prog crossover episode. So hopefully you guys are going to be entertained. I'm going to create some more shows and you guys are going to have a lot of fun. If you need to find out more, you can go to fullforce.rocks. You can follow wherever you're watching right now, and I'll be back every week with more entertainment for you. So, Discord has just cut off, but the show continues. Let's play a little bit more music. So, I want to play you guys the new Green Lung, and now this is off an album called Black Harvest. I've been talking up I have been talking up this album and playing the singles off this album and talking about the previous album for years now. You guys are probably getting sick of them. I don't fucking care. I'm going to keep playing them. And Black Harvest came out and it was not a disappointment. It's a fantastic album. So I want to play you one of the tracks off this album, but it's worth a listen start to finish. And you guys know that Woodland Rights, the previous album from 2019, my absolute top album of 2019. So I'm going to play you Reaper's Scythe. When we think about that Halloween aesthetic, we think about the spookies and the ookies and the skulls and the swords and the goblins and the ghoulies and all of that. Reaper's Scythe is a great fit. It's a perfect sort of doomy, stonery, calm down, coming back from that epic powerhouse track from 𝖊𝖕𝖎𝖃. And let's do that. Let's do that. And we'll go on from there. My name is Crimsonclad. This is Full Force Radio. We're in a slight overtime tonight because if I crumb it up, God damn it, I need to do something to make it up to you guys. Thank you so much for coming to hang. Don't go anywhere. We got a couple more tracks. know, that classic kind of organ solo. It's wild. It's a little bit out of control. It's a whole lot of fun. This is Full Force Radio. Tonight has been epically silly, and I maybe or maybe not bought a chair. Let's be realistic. I probably didn't buy a chair, but I might have bought a chair. And maybe it's a skeleton, and maybe I will have my own bone thrown. These are the questions that we have to ponder here tonight all together. But it has been fun nonetheless. Alrighty, so let's continue on because I do want to play Fear of the Dark and I want to play Spooky Scary Skeletons. Going into a Halloween weekend, how could you not? A Hallow weekend, if you will. And,
Yours is literally the only live streaming show I tune into. But then again, I'm old and don't have the wherewithal to learn how to Discord.
Thank you, Matt. So, Pikes Peak, that's been kind of sitting in the background, waiting to be released so it didn't get messed up by one of the songs and didn't get not acknowledged. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys coming to hang out, and I hope you do have a lot of fun. So, the doggo update. You know, I don't actually have a doggo update. Things are good. We're over the 3-month mark, and I actually ended up taking Lulu and Murphy with me to a late Halloween Thanksgiving party at my parents' with my nephews. And that was very nerve-wracking because I didn't know how Lulu was going to react with children because she doesn't react to other people very well. But very sweet. And very, very lovely was that she actually did really well. And one of my eldest nephew is 4. My youngest nephew is 2. The 2-year-old, that was not good. But my eldest nephew was very kind to her. He moved very slowly, very quietly. We explained to him, hey, she's really scared of you. And things are very weird and different for you. And so, you know, we have to work with her. And it was very sweet because he walked up to her and he gave her the tiniest little pat, and she was a little sketched out, but he gave her the tiniest little pat, and he told her very tenderly that she didn't need to be scared anymore because he was going to look out for her, and soon he'll be able to protect her because he's going to be bigger than her once he turns 5. Which was very cute. So that's the doggo update. Still working on it, making it happen, figuring it out. I changed the lighting just to orange. I don't know if you guys like it. I don't know if it's Halloween-y enough or if I should go back to the ghost one. But yes, that's where we're at. Potentially, I've given my credit card to a scammer in China. I've probably paid $80 for nothing. You guys are here to support me in my quick and probably painful descent into homelessness and financial ruin. But I did it all for the likes. So we're going to do Fear of the Dark, which is one of the world's greatest sing-along tracks, and Iron Maiden must happen on Full Force Radio. And then, of course, we're going to play Spooky Scary Skeletons. Now, if you guys were here and if you hang out, and actually if you're in the Discord and you want to see a picture of him telling her that, I will grab a link and I will share. Hang on, let me find it here. Because it it happened in a channel that only some of you are probably going to go to and only half of you probably want to go to. So I will grab a picture of that and I'll share it with you all here in the MSP Waves audience Discord channel. Oh, lordy. So we're going to have our little Halloweeny beanie sing-along. And we're, of course, going to also do Spooky Scary Skeletons. So on Saturday, I do Cyberbuzz, which, of course, is Synthwave and all of the rest. Thank you, Patient Zero. Which, that's going to be a lot of fun. And of course, on Saturday this week, we're going to be doing a full Halloween show. I'm going to be doing the augmented reality filters again for, you know, fun costume effects and checking some of those out. But Spooky Scary Skeletons, one of my favorite ridiculous Halloween songs. And I promised I would play you guys a version by Miracle of Sound that has a bit of a metal edge to it. It's a shorty. It's fun. Let's do it. Unfortunately, it's not on Spotify, so you're not going to find this in tonight's playlist. And it's not because I don't want it to be there. It's because it just isn't. So I'm going to play this off YouTube. We're going to have a little bit of a Spooky Scary Skeletons skeleton dance off, and we'll be coming up towards the end of the show for tonight. And of course, next week we'll be back with an after Halloween show. And we'll talk a little bit more about some of these other shows that you guys have been asking for and some of the other stuff that's been in the works with Full Force Radio. So here you go. Spooky Scary Skeletons. I mean, How could you not? Happy Halloween. Happy Halloweener. Bones. Bones for all. There we go. Spooky Scary Skeletons. I was struggling to get that up on the overlay because I hadn't prepped to doing it, but I wanted you guys to see it. Oh, goodness. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I am... I'm sorry that I'm distracting you with giggles, but yeah, they wake you with a boo. Fucking squeedly meedlies. Yeah, so there you go. There you go. Spooky Scary Skeletons. All right. So one last track tonight, but I had to play that. Guys, I had to play it. It's Halloween. And I will say, for this Thanksgiving Halloween get-together that I had with my family, my mom was like, oh, well, you know, the kids, we missed Thanksgiving because they were sick, so we'll do kind of like a Halloween party and yada, yada, yada. And so I started calling it Thanks-a-ween, and that made my mom very angry. She thought that was gross and a weird sound, and she didn't like the idea of Thanks-a-ween, but I think Thanks-a-ween should catch on. Especially given that tonight was all about the Bone Throne, which I'm sure I'm going to hear about. Let's be real. Let's be real, friends. What scene am I on? This is Halloween, and this is Ghost. I don't think they're different. Oh. Ghost is very different. I guess Ghost just didn't kick in last time. Do you guys feel spookier with Ghost on in the background? I kind of like Halloween better, to be quite honest. There's also Dance Party and Father's Day. There's a preset for Father's Day. Apparently this is Father's Day. Now you know. It turns out there is no setting for Thanks-a-ween. But someday we'll have to go through all these because, I mean, look at all the different settings that we can set the lights on. Twinkle, dreamland, breathe, energetic, excited. I mean, look at all these. These are very important. So yeah, these are the festivals that I was checking out. And Father's Day is a festival, obviously. So now you know. I'm going to put on Halloween again and we'll just call her a knight. All right. So we're coming to the end of the show. One last track. We got to get our Iron Maiden in. You got to get your horns up. You got to get the irons up. We're, of course, going to do Fear of the Dark, which is the most classic sing-along song of all time. If you've ever seen Iron Maiden in person, it's often one of the last tracks that they play. Not always, but often. And all of the lighters come out and everybody, because it's usually in an arena, you know, like, let's be realistic, everybody, whoa, 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 whoa. And everybody does that. And then Bruce sings very quietly over top of it. So even if you don't know the words to Fear of the Dark, and of course, Hallowed Be Thy Name is better. Yeah, it is. It's one of my favorite Iron Maiden tracks. Who cares? It's not Halloween-y. Don't give a shit. God, you don't show up and then you do show up and you throw shade. But here's the deal. So even if you don't know the words and you don't know how to sing along to Fear of the Dark, but the reality, the words are Fear of the Dark, Fear of the Dark. Hey, Green Box. You know, I mean, realistically, thanks for following. I haven't gotten this overlay quite right. So if you're wondering why shit's just floating over my face, it's because I realize many of you don't actually want to see my face. So, yes, get your lighters out, get your singing out. You are a man who walks the dark road. Sing along the last track of the night, Fear of the Dark, going into a Halloween weekend here. I hope you guys had a lot of fun. You know, I always love the most professional, heavy music, historical fact streams that we do. But then, you know, best laid plans of mice and men. Sometimes things go tits up, metaphorically and literally. And we have nights like tonight where my intention is to serve you lots of skeleton, but instead I compromise my credit card. What can I say? That's live radio.
Dark road at night or strolling through the park. When the light begins to change, I sometimes feel a little strange, a little anxious when it's dark. Fear of the dark, fear of the dark. I have a constant fear that something's always near. Fear of the dark, fear of the dark. I have a phobia that someone's always there.
This is when everybody in the crowd has their lighters up and they're whoa-whoa-whoing. I want to, but I guarantee you I'm going to get a YouTube strike for this.
I'm walking a dark road. I
Yeah,
am a
man who walks alone. Yes, there we are, my friends. The last track of the night, Fear of the Dark. I hope my interpretive dancing along to the lyrics, turning out my lights and have you ever checked? Have you ever felt your neck skin crawl? Yeah, ridiculous. But who cares? It's good fun. I hope you guys had a lot of fun tonight. Thanks to Greenbox, who just hopped on and has joined us. I hope you had fun for the 5 seconds that you were with us. But of course, come back next week. We will be working on less Halloween-y, hopefully less shit-showy show, but you never know what you're going to get. My name is Crimsonclad, and this is Full Force Radio, and every Thursday night, Friday morning, whatever time it is for you, right now, if this is live, I do a little show called Full Force Radio. I talk about I talk about a lot of dumb shit, but lots of the time I play heavy metal, hard rock, and we have a lot of fun exploring the history of metal. Thank you, sir. And so the reality is we explore the history of heavy metal. We talk about bands. We explore different music. We talk about subgenres. We play a lot of loud music, and we have a whole lot of fun. Now, tonight was not quite what I was hoping for Halloween. I was hoping a little more Halloween-y, but god damn it, I put on some lipstick, we changed the lights to be orange, and the show must go on. So skeletons it is, and of course I will keep you guys posted on whether or not I get a skeleton chair, since I bought that live online while you guys were watching, or if I have to go through if I have to recover my identity because I've just given a bunch of money to a Chinese scammer. I'm not gonna lie, I was shocked that I got an email back from I got an email back. So I got the PayPal receipt, and then I also got a customer service receipt that says my order status was success. And then I've got a piece of custom JSON that says the Harlow Black Skull. So we will see what I get. It's supposed to be, we talked about boning chairs. Doesn't get much more spooky than that, especially when your mom's in the bone throne. I hope you guys have a fun, safe Halloween. I will be back live next for Cyberbuzz Radio. We'll be doing dark synth and horror synth and, of course, more spooky, scary skeletons. I know he does more dances than this, but that one's my favorite. So I'll be back on Saturday. I'm going to show you guys some cool stuff. We're going to talk more about VR. We're going to explore some spooky Halloween games, and we're going to talk through... You'll have to come and find out. Cyberbuzz will be on Saturday, Full Force Radio. If you want to know when the next one is and you want to count down in your own time zone, go to fullforce.rocks. Otherwise, I will see you guys later. Maybe I'll have a bone thrown.